Hello and welcome again. This is Dr. Eduardo, uh, attending physician from World Stem Cells Clinic and ReHealth in Cancun, Mexico. Today I'm here to talk about a subject that has a lot of controversy around, which is protein absorption. There's myths about protein absorption that I'm sure you have heard out there. For example, a lot of people involved in the fitness industry usually or used to state that you should be eating in between 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. If not, the rest of it will be just a big waste. And that there's nobody that can absorb more than 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, and that anything extra will be just disposed. So we will boost the myth that there's an actually a ceiling of absorption of protein, with medical evidence, of course, and I will share with you all the bio, all the links and of the papers that I will be mentioning during the video. All right. Look out for these papers and the link of those down in the description of the video. Let's start with this paper, published in 2009 by Anthony D. Jackson and John McLaughlin. They both stated that all ingested protein is absorbed by healthy humans. We can absorb as much as protein as we can ingest, so the terminology in this subject is the key. We're not actually the actually key here is to understand how much of the absorbed protein can be used and actually be enough to max out the protein synthetic response. So again, the right question here should be how much protein you can use. You can actually absorb, use it, turn it into amino acids, and max out the protein synthetic response. Well, for me, it depends in three main factors. All right, number one, it will be the size of the patient or the size of the person, of course. It's not the same weighting 100 pounds than 200 pounds. A paper published in September 2015 by Robert Morton suggests that every person willing to gain some muscle mass and working out, of course, should be eating at least 0.4 grams per kilo of protein per kilogram per meal, or 0.18 grams per pound per meal, which is basically the same. Let's mention an example. If someone weighs 120 pounds, this person should be eating around 22 grams of protein per meal, and if someone else's weighs around 200 pounds, should be eating around 36 pounds of protein per meal, in order again to enhance and max out protein synthetic response. Now, factor number two that affects how much protein is utilized in your body as actual amino acids will be the amount of muscle mass that is being trained during your workout. In contrast to previous mentioned papers in 2016, published by McNaughton and Wardle, they mentioned during this paper that the response of muscle synthesis following whole body resistant exercise is greater following 40 grams of protein than 20 grams of protein of ingested weight protein source. But again, this is because they followed a full or whole body routine, full body resistance exercise routine, meaning that they were involving several muscle groups during the same workout. So this led to the authors to believe that whenever you activate more muscle mass during your workout, you will require more protein to max out the protein synthetic response. And the factor number 3 that affects how much protein is utilized in your body and turned into muscle mass is the age. This is a very well-known factor. The onsets of years and wisdom affects because this well-established phenomenon of protein resistance occurs. This is physiological and basically means that your body will now require more protein in order to reach the same anabolic response. Now, the controversy doesn't stop right there, because in 2009, September 23rd, 2009, Mr. Souders et al. published that there's no actual difference in between mass preservation in two groups of patients that they made. One of these groups was eating 101 grams of protein in a 4-hour window, and the other group of patients were eating the same amount of protein, 101 grams of protein, but split it in 4 meals during the day. Again, the results show no difference in between the two control groups or groups of control in muscle mass preservation. This lets me think that there's no perfect answer, that we can conclude that we have an unlimited capacity to absorb protein. Now, how much protein of that can be converted into amino acids and utilized by muscle? Well, I think, again, it depends on the 3 factors that I mentioned before. Number 1, the size of the individual. Number 2, the amount of muscle mass trained during the workout. And number 3, the age of the patient. All right? Nevertheless, we cannot forget about a few other multiple factors, such as the type of metabolism of the patient, the source of the protein, the quality of the protein, and a lot of other factors that come second, I'll consider. But at least those 3 will be the main factors, at least in my opinion, that I will consider to discuss with my patients. And in my conclusion, I'll say that the most important part here is the total daily protein intake. Not if you're eating 100 grams during the whole day or in one meal, but if your requirements to build muscle mass following the recommendations from the paper from Mr. Robert Morton, 0.4 grams of protein per kilogram per meal, or 0.18 grams of protein per pound per meal. That for me will be the main thing to take care of whenever you're trying to put some muscle mass. The total amount of protein that you're eating, meaning that you're reaching your goals of protein ingestion during the day. We will also talk about the anabolic window in the following video. Please let me know what questions do you have now. If you want me to talk about any specific subject, and write me down in the comments what has worked best for you. Maybe eating a bunch of protein just at once, following, for example, intermittent fasting diet, or you rather split the ingestion of protein during the day, or what has worked the best for you. Please let me know, and stay tuned for future videos. And soon, bye bye.